Hey, what's going on, guys? Joseph Blau, brewer here for ESFIworld.com, and I'm here with Paulo CatZ, the captain and owner of Root Gaming. Katz, what's going on, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. What was the first game you remember sparking your competitive spirit?
I don't know. I guess like PlayStation games.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I used to play with my brother a lot. I guess since Nintendo. Like I guess Street Fighter would be the first one. Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Did you follow any fighting games after that?
No, I never followed the scene at all. I just played with my brother and built toys and stuff. You know.
Okay. I see what you're saying. How did you first get into competitive StarCraft?
I played 2 versus 2 in Brood War, I suppose, with Druby and some other dude from Peru as well. I guess that would be it. I was the co-leader of one of the best European teams in Brood War, Infernal Gamers. So during that time, I suppose.
When did you decide that you wanted to go pro and try to make a career out of StarCraft?
Out of StarCraft, perhaps in StarCraft 2. In StarCraft 1, there wasn't any money for foreigners, really. Yeah. If there was, it wasn't significant. So when they announced StarCraft 2, that's when we decided we were going to make the best team in North America, hopefully, and we kind of try to stick to it.
Well, can you catch myself and everyone up to date on what you've been doing these last couple of months, how everything's been going?
It's been going really good, actually. We are growing every day. We're, I think, making the right moves so far. We got a pretty strong team, and with the budget we have compared to other teams, I think we're doing extremely well. We're making stuff work with a lot less than other teams, and we're consistently growing. We're looking for sponsors. That's going well. So I think we're doing great in every aspect right now.
Right. You just moved back to Peru as well, correct?
That's right. Yeah. I moved back to Peru, and Drew came along as well.
Nice. Well, MLG vs. Pro League is starting today, and 2 of the members of your team were announced, Major and Vibe. How do you feel about being titled under the MLG conference? Sir Scoots of Evil Geniuses said yesterday on Live on 3, quote, "A lot of us that don't work for MLG don't really like you calling, our teams yours," unquote. Do you see any problem with having players under the MLG banner, essentially? And did you know it would be that way when you initially spoke to MLG about the MLG versus Pro League?
The thing is, MLG has always had that thing since Halo, since they owned all the Halo teams. Right. From the start of MLG, they always kind of had the idea that they could own the players under their banners. And in the first few meetings that we had, the first year, they were good about having a meeting with the top 8 seats, and Root had 4 of those. Yeah. So EG, Root, Dignitas, and perhaps Millennium with Huck were there, or was it Team Liquid? Maybe Team Liquid. So we made it clear to MLG that we, they didn't own the players, we did. Mm-hmm. So I as far as the Pro League thing goes, I don't really mind to label it as MLG versus Pro League, because I mean Pro League, sure, it's a big organization, but there's a bunch of teams there too. So I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, what is the other option? Like Pro League versus,
all the
EG complexity. Blah, 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 yeah. I don't mind.
Well, I just wanted to ask you a quick question also about some of your recent, visa issues you had in the past. Do you think the U.S. strict immigration policy, even when issuing tourist visas, is stunting the growth of North American esports community?
The North American growth community?
Yeah, from international places, people coming to North America. There's been a lot of strict visa laws in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's represented a problem with some people from Russia before. I don't see it happening as often from Latin America, but it's not easy by any means to get a visa to come to the U.S. But as far as I'm concerned, we're a North American-based team, so we don't really have many issues with that.
That's good. Well, you're back in Peru now with family and friends. You have your team, Root Gaming, back together better than ever. What is the next step for you, not only as a team, but as an owner and the captain, but as a player as well?
Well, my main focus right now is the team. I do want to be a competitive player. I want to continue to be one of the best North American Circs if I can do that. So I guess I'll be allocating most of my efforts and time to the team and making it growth and make sure everything's working. But it's not particularly smooth sailing right now. It's there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. we are always growing. We are now looking for more staff, for example. So I think we're getting there to the point where everything's a little bit more automatic. But for instance, right now, I handle a lot of the graphics on our website and stuff like that, and that takes a lot of time from me, as well as helping managing players and stuff like that. So once that's all a little bit more set and it runs a little bit smoother automatically, then I'll be happy to allocate the great majority of my time to gaming. But yeah, I mean, for Heart of the Storm, I definitely want to be one of the best.
Right. Well, let's talk more about Root as a business. What kind of financial opportunity does or will Root Gaming give you now or towards the future? And where do you see Root in the next 2 or 5 years down the road?
For me, as an owner, what we did this time around that we didn't do the first time is we brought one of my best friends, Diego. He's a business major from one of the best universities in Peru. He is really good at what he does. So on the business side, we're running a lot better than we were. We also understand this is not a profitable business per se, not for a while at least. So basically all the money that's coming into Root, we're reinvesting it in the team, and we'll continue to do that probably for a year or two before even thinking about profiting. So that was a perfect follow-up question, I suppose, when you say 2 to 5 years down the line, because that's where our aim is, to grow and start profiting from the team. So we have to just put all the hard work now, and it's kind of like going to college where you're not going to make any money from it, but in the end it's going to pay off. So I mean, that's the goal. Just work as hard as we can and see what we can get.
Does seeing a team like CatZ Gaming going out of business alarm you when it comes to the future of Root and being able to compete with the bigger teams like EG, Complexity, Quantic that have all the money right now?
No, absolutely not. The difference with Root and pretty much every other team right now, or every other team that's ever existed, perhaps, as far as teams that belong to the industry and are a business per se, is 2 of the owners, me and Drew, are professional gamers. So I feel like we understand the needs of professional gamers a lot better than most teams would, and I also take pride in being a talent scout. So I don't think we're ever gonna run out of players per se. There's we are one of the most popular teams out there. So if you are a player that's growing, wants to be competitive, and you're really good, then I'll probably spot you. I'll play on the ladder and I'll be like, hey, want to play some games with us? And you're not going to have any offers because those teams are not going to know about you until you go to a tournament, and you're not going to go to a tournament if you don't have support. So
Are there any players out there you're looking to acquire soon, since you bring that up? And if there was one player that you could get from any team, who would it be?
Scarlet, hands down. Scarlet is probably the best North American player. I think Vive and Major are contenders for that title as well. And if we had all 3 of them, that would be fantastic. So I guess she would fit the profile to as the best player we could acquire. Our main goal and most of our efforts are allocated to make the North American scene grow, to make competitive gaming in North America grow, and for us to grow and brand us a team that's focused on North America. So yeah, I think Scarlet would be the perfect fit.
Are there any other players you're looking at right now?
Well, I couldn't say I'm looking at Scarlet. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I don't know how viable that is per se. Yeah. That would be ideal. We're not really searching for players, but players do appear sometimes, like such as Massa. They're just ridiculously good, and again, they're not gonna get approached by other teams. I was actually surprised, and it was a good surprise for me to see EG pick up Sapi. Yeah. Picking up talent rather than established players and just buying them out. I guess Sapi did really well at MLG though, so that's another case. But yeah, we're never really searching for players. We just find them.
Nice. Well, you're here this weekend for the NASL Sunday Showdown for Heart of the Swarm with all your teammates, T21, Major, and Vibe. How are you feeling so far about the Heart of the Swarm beta?
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was better, and then Protoss was really weak at the start, and now they just buffed Protoss really hard, and they nerfed the other races pretty hard. So I guess Blizzard, much like God, has pretty weird ways of fixing things, I guess. I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know why they couldn't just like buff Protoss and not nerf the other races. That would have made for a much more fun game. For example, Storm Hosts were perhaps too strong, and the Warhound was perhaps too strong. So I think they could have given Protoss a unit that was too strong as well, and that would have fixed the balance in a weird way, much like it did in Brood War. So that makes for more exciting games.
Definitely. Do you have any builds in particular ready for this tournament this weekend?
Against Protoss mainly. That's the problem. CVZ and ZVT play a lot like Wings of Liberty right now. So it's fun because it's the game that I love, but it's not much new stuff to go around.
Yeah. Who do you think's gonna win this weekend between you and me? This whole thing.
I don't know. I have no idea because TT1 has been practicing Heart of the Swarm more than any of us. Right. So perhaps he has a pretty good shot. But then again, Major and Vibe are pretty ridiculous, and they're doing quite well for themselves. So I'd have to pick me.
Yeah. Well, do you have any last words for your opponents?
You're going down.
Well, thanks for the interview, CatZ. Good luck this weekend. You can take this time to give any shout-outs.
Shout out to Root Gaming, to our sponsors, Rush Order Tees and Twitch TV. So please visit our website at root-gaming.com, and thank you for following us and supporting us.
Sweet. Thank you very much, man, for the